Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about something really interesting. We're going to talk about the death of OneDND. All right, so credit where credit is due. The first person I saw to notice this and bring it to my attention was Newbie DM. If you don't know Newbie DM, he has an amazing Twitter account. He's really, actually, when it comes to D&D, I think I've been following him one of the longest D&D Twitter accounts, where most of his content is Twitter. Now, I don't know why on earth you would do that. Like, to me, you should definitely get on YouTube. And I think, if you're a D&D commentator, YouTube is the strongest platform, but not everybody works in the same medium. And Newbie DM has done a tremendous job of doing real amazing coverage for Dungeons and Dragons on his Twitter account. By the way, I'm a Twitter fan. Mastodon can go kick rocks. Fall in a lake. I do not like Mastodon, and I want it to fail, right? I want it to be decimated. That's the best way to say it, right? And I think it is being decimated by Twitter. I don't think Mastodon is going anywhere. I don't think it's growing. So that's my take, right? I back Twitter. I stand Twitter. I don't stand Mastodon, and so. He has a great account, and he said this first. He's like, did anybody notice on the new playtest material, they're just talking Unearthed Arcana. They're like, this is Unearthed Arcana, and we're moving it forward. And he's right. OneDND has completely disappeared. It is not being used by Hasbro at all, right? Now, so let's talk about this. This is a huge event, so let's talk about this. All right, so what is a big deal about this? Well, it is a big deal from a very distinct perspective. One, I just want to take a minute. There was this brief shining moment where Hasbro did something really brave, really bold, and gave it to the Dungeons & Dragons community. And what they did was they said, what if the Edition Wars died, right? What if we had one D&D? What if there was just one Dungeons & Dragons? What if we weren't divided over D&D 1E, D&D 2E, D&D 3E, D&D 4E, D&D 5E? What if there never was a D&D 6E? What if there was always just Dungeons & Dragons? And by embracing one D&D, we could live in a world where ideas from every edition merged into a single edition, and we just let go of this meaningless edition war that we've had for 5 decades. And the D&D community said, y'alls can fabargle yourselves. We demand Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition. Absolutely not one of us is going to drop. I did it. I was like, oh, bet, I'm in. I want the Edition Wars to stop. I'm a grizzled veteran of the Edition Wars. I would like to lay down my virtual sword. And you will find, and I got the receipts. Go check go back, and you'll see, no less than a dozen videos where I'm like, Kaloo, man, kumbaya, let's go, baby. I don't want to fight over nothing anymore. I embrace the new future of peace, right? And the entire D&D community, to a man, I couldn't believe it. Teos Abadia and Sean Merwin were like, oh, it's going to be 6E. Everybody pick up your virtual weapons. Don't lay down your virtual weapons for a minute, right? The Edition Wars forever, right? And that they said it in different words, but that's what they said, in my humble opinion. So I just want there to be, we need to remember for 1 minute, right? Hasbro tried to bring something beautiful, and we took that glass vision and we smashed it on the ground and danced on the shards, right? In steel-toed boots. It's on us. It's on us, right? And this is what makes me just absolutely so vexed, right? Is the D&D community just continues to point, right, and say wrong at Hasbro, and doesn't realize when we smash things to bits, right, and lose these huge opportunities because of our selfishness and our absolutely destructive nature, right? And there was this one brief shining moment where there could have been one Dungeons & Dragons, where the Edition Wars could have died, right? And if you can't get that past the very peaceful and kind and tolerant Sean Merwin and Teos Abadia, I knew there was no hope, right? And there were a lot of vicious people who were like, oh, no. We're going to call it 6E, and we're going to have the virtual weapons out and the Edition Wars forever, right? And that is it, right? Edition Wars forever. And that's where we are, right? And now the other thing is, I am fast becoming hard, stan of Hasbro, right? Because the reality is, when you look at what they're doing, they are they move, right? Man, they make maneuvers, right? And the reality is, OneDND became a laughing joke, right? It became because the D&D community refused to let Edition Wars die. They're like, if I can't hate somebody over a single number before the letter E, what am I even going to do with myself, right? Hatred is like a massive part of my being, right? If I can't hate people over the most silly, useless divisions, what do I do with my time, right? I'd have to like learn, grow, and change, and who wants to do that, right? I do. Apparently, nobody else in the D&D community wants to. They want to cut goblins in half forever. It is horrible. It is horrible, right? And just shockingly sad, and it's, we had this moment. We had this moment where it could have been more. And I'm very proud of D&D for recognizing the moment and moving on, right? And doing something real and realizing when they fail and maneuvering to handle it. Every word is my humble opinion. I'm really eager to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.